We're gonna make a soup today. It's gonna be pretty straightforward. We've got 5 stalks of celery, a half an onion. We have 1 package of mushrooms, 4 carrots. They don't have to be, yellow and purple. I just like multicolored carrots. 2 bell peppers, 3 cloves of garlic. To thicken up everything, we're gonna use red split lentils and coconut cream. To season, we have paprika, cumin, onion granules, turmeric, coriander, and sesame oil, and of course, salt. You'll see how I put this in, how I chop it. There is a method to the madness. You're gonna shred carrots first and let them cook in there first. So you're gonna shred them, throw them in the hot pot, let them cook while you chop everything else. Throw the celery and onions in. They'll cook down. Do the peppers after that because they don't take that long to cook. Mushrooms last because they can actually boil in the soup. We're gonna choppy chop, and then you'll see me in a second. Alright, we got shredded carrot. I have the pot going just to get hot. 3 tablespoons coconut oil. You can never have enough or too much coconut oil. Throw this in. We let that do its thing. If you've never watched a cooking show, then I'll just say you slice into the onion like this, not holding it in your hand, just for the camera's sake. This, then we go down a couple times, and then we chop like this, and we're gonna dice up the onion. You don't have to, you can just do it lengthwise and have big chunks of onion. It's just more palatable for the kids this way. And I'll keep recording so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we did 2 cuts in like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go down. And you push the knife forward as you're doing this so everything doesn't slip and slide. So press down a little into the onion and just press forward and down. That sounded. Do you know how to use a knife? Of course you know how to use a knife. But on the off chance that you are not a wonderful cook, that will be helpful. A lot of this is going to cook down enough that it's not really going to matter, but if you don't dice it like this, you will still have chunks of onion. And like I said, for the kids. So I'm just cutting the celery lengthwise again so that when it's a soup, you're not getting big hunks of veggie. So yeah, some of the concern with going vegan is vitamin B12. That's why you see me cook with so many mushrooms, tofu, tempeh, fermented stuff. That all has B12 in it. So that's where you can pick up that B12 that everybody thinks you're missing, and you're not. Obviously the protein is going to come from the lentils. You can substitute out a lot of different kinds of protein. You can make it just as thick with, I've used refried beans. You can use regular canned beans. That beefless beef you add at the end, and it'll thicken it up, and that gives you your protein. You can do cubed tofu, but it doesn't work as well in this. I don't know. Just when you want a soup, you want something savory. This is a very easy way to do garlic. I'm probably going to fuck it up because I'm recording, but you lay the blade down on the garlic, smashy smashy, and then you pull the meat out. Pull the garlic out. Gear that up. Shoot shit out of the pot too. Alright. Continue with Stalks Garlic. And I'm sure if enough people watch this, somebody's going to tell me, you should have done it this way, you should have done it that way. Which is fine. I'll take it, but how I've been doing it. If you have an easier way, do tell. But if you want fresh garlic, you have to go through the sticky process. Sticky process. Alright. Garlic in. Shot it across the stove. Peppers. I think I've done this before with you guys, but I'll do it again. Stand it up on its head. One down. Can't take credit for that. Again, thank you, cooking shows. Thank you, Gordon Ramsay. It's funny when you watch cooking shows. This is the little techniques that you pick up. You know, like I can't remember any of the recipes that he did, but some of the techniques in chopping and cooking, I remember vividly, and that's partly why I'm doing this. Alright. In. Alright, we got everybody in. Well, not everybody, almost. We do mushrooms. I get the sliced mushrooms, because most of the time I just add them whole. In the soup, I know one of my children isn't a huge fan, so you just take the sliced mushrooms and slice them down even more, so that when he sees it, it doesn't look like a mushroom. He goes, "What's that?" I go, "Deliciousness," and he eats it. So one other thing that I thought of as I'm doing this, because I get a lot of scraps. You could you could save your scraps and make veggie stock with it, which is one of my chef friends. He tells me to do that all the time, and I tell him I don't have time to do that. But you might. You could also save them depending on what they are exactly, and make a soup with the leftovers, kind of a leftover cooked down soup. Another thing that I've thought environmentally is, I don't mean to get preachy. Oh, you want to stir this and then let it do its thing for a little longer. Get that on camera. I get paper bags from the store. When we put leftover vegetation, even meat too, meat products, in a plastic bag and seal it up and we throw it in the landfill, there are microbes inside the bag that actually eat it, and then they fart methane, which produces more methane in the landfills. So I use the paper bags so that they can degrade, and the rotting fruit and vegetables can rot naturally and decompose and not produce methane. Alright, so I opened the coconut cream. We'll do the lentils soon. One thing with the coconut cream is, especially in the winter, it solidifies. Some of it's solid, some of it's liquid. I just pour the whole thing in a bowl. Make sure I got all the solid pieces out. Mix it up. Try to get it as uniform as possible. Just ram those chunks against the side. Ram those chunks! Eat the coconut cream. You can get coconut milk. Not the light coconut milk, because that makes it a little too watery. But maybe you want it watery. I don't know. I don't. So, I use coconut cream because I'm going to add broth and water anyways, and that'll kind of dilute it down. You get more bang for your buck with whole coconut cream. Oh, but I wanted to show you this beautifulness before I add that. Oh, it is so pretty. I think I got the same angle. Probably not. It's good enough for me. Alright, I don't add the whole thing, maybe half, another chunk. Alright, then for the sake of my viewers, I'm going to do 1 cup of lentils. I say for the sake of my viewers because I normally just pour it in there and go. Now with the seasonings, that's a little harder. But before we get there, we're going to add the veggie broth. So the whole carton. Now, like I was saying with the seasonings, coriander, not too much, but it is bigger soup. You could snap your fucking fingernail, motherfucker. Those usually aren't that hard to. Alright, that's maybe half a tablespoon. Lots of turmeric. Paprika. Not a ton of cumin. Cumin will overpower it, so maybe a teaspoon or 2. And onion granules. Salt to taste. Sesame oil. Let's see. Is it a tablespoon? Yeah, that seems about right. Tablespoon of sesame oil. We're gonna leave all this to play around for a bit. You know, let the lentils soak up anyways and cook. So maybe if I can get the camera to do this again. It's gonna be a little watery, and we'll be back when it's not. As you guys can see, this isn't a studio. This isn't a set. This is my kitchen. We're a family of 5, so for me to clean it beautifully or pristinely is impossible. Once you clean up a mess, there's another one in its place. If I don't just try and push these out, I won't. It'll never happen. The name Godless Vegan, there's more to it. Not a ton. I mean, you can guess it. It's catchy, but there will be other videos about that name and why I'm doing this. And, there'll be more than just me cooking. The cooking is kind of the base. It's the platform. It's the place for me to start. And then with the subsequent videos that come, more of my personality will come out. I'm gonna get more comfortable on camera, which is what I'm trying to do now. The soup's going. Coconut cream's gonna start bubbling up top. It's gonna start spitting. That's how you know it's about done. The lentils too, they'll be done and they'll thicken the soup up as well. The further you cook them, the creamier the soup, or the creamier the lentils will be. So the creamier the soup will be. You could also take out a cup or two, and put it in the blender, put it back in. That'll thicken it up as well. There's not much more to this. We're gonna plate. I'm gonna show it to you, then I'm gonna eat it because now I'm hungry. All right, it's spitting. All right, it's spitting. It's angry. It sounds angry. Turn the heat off. This is about done. And I have tried it, and it's really, really good. Get a bowl. Throw them bowls. Ladle that out. Have a taste. Nom, 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 nom. No, I'm just kidding. This is mine. You can have it. Make your own. This will go with anything. It's super savory and it's delicious. And I'm gonna stop talking. I'm the Godless Vegan. This is my creamy veggie lentil soup. Since there's lentils in it, that works. Rolls off the tongue. Creamy veggie lentil soup. Anyways, peace.